Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. It's Sunday morning. It's nice and sunny. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the weekly watches. Now we're changing it up a bit this week. We've moved downstairs to the ground floor of Blu-Roy Towers just for a change. Why not? They say change is better than the rest. So let's find out. Oh, put my cup of tea down. Not prepared. This week I've only watched 6 films. Not very much for me. Normally I'm into double figures. There's about 3 reasons for that, really. First being, maybe I felt a bit of film burnout, if you like. Just fancied a couple of days off not watching anything. I think you can have too much of a good thing at times. So, yeah, I just went back for a while. Another one, quite a lot of good football on the TV this week. Been some cracking games. Chelsea, Man United 4-3. What a thriller that was. That's occupied a bit of my time. But another reason, and a reason that maybe going forwards from now, you might see a little bit less of me. Stop cheering, you lot. But we'll see how we get on. I started a little job this week. Now, I haven't worked since January of last year for health reasons, which I won't bore you with. So I've been looking for a little job for quite a while now, just a few hours a week, just give me something to do. And it's been tough. Seems at my age and about my background, I haven't been, how can I put it, attractive to employers. But at long last, I've managed to find myself a little job, something that I think I'm going to enjoy. It's just going to be, I'd say, probably about 10 hours a week or something. Just going to get me out of the house, get me under the wife's feet, give me something to do. So going forwards, that might be a reason why I might watch a few less movies a week. And these videos might be quicker, which I'm sure you're probably all glad about. You want to see this ugly mug for too long, do you? But yeah, that's a bit of a background. So let's crack on with what I've seen this week. Now, the first one, I'd like to say it was quality over quantity, but it wasn't, I'm afraid. I watched Blast. This is possibly the worst film I've watched so far this year. I think I gave it half a star on Letterboxd, which, if you want to have a look for me on Letterboxd, I'm under Footy and Flicks. Give me a follow and come and say hi. Of all the Die Hard knockoffs, I think this is the most terrible one I've ever seen. It is pretty much Die Hard in a swimming pool, believe it or not. The Olympic swimming team in, I think it's the Atlanta Olympics, they get kidnapped by Euro terrorists. Where have you heard that before? The Bruce Willis type character is played by an actor called Lyndon Ashby, which a name like Lyndon, I was expecting that to be an actress, but no, it's a guy. He's got about the charisma of a lamppost, much different to Bruce. It says Rutger Hauer there in big letters at the top, so I thought he was going to be starring in it, but I thought he'd probably be the bad guy, but no, he's in it for about 10 minutes. So yeah, just really, really dull. Even this Lyndon Ashby, unbeknown to the hijackers, they were holding his estranged wife hostage. So yeah, again, Die Hard, where have you heard that before? But it was just an awful, boring attempt to retelling the story. Wouldn't recommend that to anybody. CEX don't even want it back. I think they give about a penny for it, so looks like I'm stuck with it. Avoid, people. Next up was one that Larry sent me over and asked me if I could watch it and let me know what I thought. And you know me, Larry, I'm more than happy to oblige with that. And that was The Deadly Affair, starring James Mason. Really enjoyed this one. One of best films I think Larry sent me so far. Yeah, stars James Mason, who I like as an actor. He's in a lot of maybe underwatched films, if you like. Also starring Maximilian Schell, who I also like, and Harry Andrews. He was maybe the standout character in this as a policeman stroke detective who fell asleep at the drop of a hat. So they'd be all there sat around discussing parts of the plot, and Harry Andrews would be snoring his head off. Yeah, but this is James Mason. He's playing a government official, and he's tasked with investigating the apparent suicide of a member of the cabinet, and it looks like an open and shut case. But as in the case with many of these types of films, it's not quite as simple as that. But it's, yeah, really good, twisty, turny sort of spy story. I believe it's a John le Carre adaptation, and probably the first that I have seen of the John le Carre adaptations. I know there's a lot of them, and you're probably all shouting that there's a lot of better ones than this. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I managed to guess sort of who was the perpetrator as soon as I clapped my eyes at him, which is a bit of a shame, but didn't really distract at all. But that is one I'd recommend. I think the Indicator sale starts tomorrow. If you could pick that up for a fiver in the sale, go for it. Great stuff. So a swig of me tea with the good tea bags. Next up, I watched Pearl, which is a prequel to the film that came out the year before, I believe, X, which I quite like X, but now I'm going to sound like a prude here, which I don't think I am, but maybe it's just my age, but I thought it was a little bit over-sexual, X, whereas this wasn't, so I enjoyed it more. Maya Goth, who played Pearl, just outstanding acting and performance in this, as we're seeing her and what turned her into the murderous person she turned out to be in X. Yeah, really good fun. Ty Wood directed, did a fantastic job. Great horror film. Make me look forward to the next one that's coming out. Is it Maxine? I think it's called. Yeah, really good. Next up, one that I enjoyed, despite the terrible reviews it's got, is Retreat. Now, this stars Tandy Newton, Cillian Murphy, who's always a fan of his stuff, much more than Oppenheimer, and Jamie Bell. Now, Tandy Newton and Cillian Murphy, they're a married couple who've had troubles in their marriage. So they come to this island, which they've been to before, to spend a holiday. They're the only people on the island. And then their CB radio that links them to the mainland, and the farmer who owns the island and the cottage they're staying in, that breaks down, and they're left isolated until soldier Jamie Bell, he gets washed ashore even, and informs them that there's been a worldwide outbreak of this virus. Cillian Murphy, bless him, he seems to get really involved in viruses when they break out. And it was airborne, and they had to barricade themselves in the house to avoid the virus. But things weren't quite as the soldier was saying, which I won't say anymore in case you haven't seen it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like I say, it's got poor reviews, but I thought it was a really decent sort of horror stroke action home invasion film. And whereas the blurb on the front describes it as Straw Dogs meets 28 Days Later, I wouldn't go quite that far, but yeah, really good action drama. I'd recommend that if you see it cheap anywhere, pick it up, give it a watch. Next up, I was back to the Indicators for To Sir with Love, with Sidney Potter, as Grandad called him on Only Fools and Horses, but we all know him as Sidney Poitier. I really like this one again. This is a great sort of look at 60s life in London, a London that's now you wouldn't recognise from this film. Sidney Poitier, he's taken a teaching job and he takes over this class of unruly kids, and though they give it large, Sidney, he can see underneath that there's some rough diamonds and they're just kids with problems at the end of the day. It's predictable, you know where it's going to go, but it's just really enjoyable slice, as I say, of looking at life at that time. Very similar to Blackboard Jungle with Glenn Ford, if you've seen that. It would make a decent double bill, in my opinion. I think Blackboard Jungle, I don't even know whether it's got a physical release. I think I watched it on YouTube. So you could actually watch both in a day. And if you've only got that one, you can watch Blackboard Jungle as well. Yeah, really good. Recommend it. Again, in the sale that's starting tomorrow. And believe me, Indicator aren't paying me to promote them. You can pick it up for a £5. Pick it up, stick it in with the Deadly Fair, choose another one, and you got excellent entertainment for 15 quid. And last up, one that I watched yesterday, Arrow Academy release, Burt Lancaster, Tony Curtis, Sweet Smell of Success, and what a fantastic film this was. I think this is going to be my recommendation of the week. This was a look at newspaper reporters, or more to the point, columnists who promote shows and bands and stuff like that. And I don't know how true to life it was, but how cutthroat it was at the time, how they were undermining each other, doing the dirty on each other. And this was just a really fantastically acted drama, directed by master director Sidney Lumet. Burt Lancaster, he was an evil, horrible character in this. He gave poor old Tony Curtis the run round at times. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Really good fun. One that I'll be watching again in the future. I did try and watch it a few months ago, and I watched it for half an hour and it wasn't doing anything for me. So I put it back and I thought I'd give it another go. It's just funny how films take you at different times and don't give up on one. Yeah, really like that. So that's everything I've watched this week. I said it was going to be shorter, but I've been babbling on for 12 and a half minutes now, so maybe that hasn't come to plan. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know if you've seen any of these and what did you think. Give me a like if you like the video today. Maybe subscribe if you like what I do. And yeah, I'll see you again in the near future. Goodbye, everybody.